Yo, how you doing, Mike Bradley? I hope you're doing well as always. It's another question and answer video, so why not? So as I've been getting quite a lot, so thank you. And if you want to send a question, go to my Facebook page, which is cha-ching, and send me a question there and I will answer it in one of these Q&A videos. So, lovely Peter Dale, hello sir. He was asking me about my 345 Anna McFly, but he was also asking what's your songwriting process, which is a fantastic question, thank you Peter. So it works in many ways. I've got a strand of hair coming down. It works in many ways, I guess. I've been finding my best songs, well I say best, like best song ideas, have been coming without a guitar in my hands at all. Like if I'm just walking to the shops or, you know, walking anywhere, you know, if I'm out and about, and I will get a melody idea in my head and I will, where's my phone? There we go. The humble phone, so iPhone here, hello Apple if you want to endorse me, hello. But on the voice memo I will sing a melody line, or if there's a riff in my head I'll hum that out on the phone, and then come home and then find the melody line notes or the riff or the chord progression and find that on the guitar, you know. There's a song called Faded Away which is on my YouTube channel, and it's an acoustic, I've got it just as an acoustic at the moment, but it's very kind of Stonesy. That idea, right? Now, I came out of that in the car in a traffic jam on the M25 going to my girlfriend's parents' house. You know what I mean? There was no guitar there. So I literally got my phone, I hummed the melody line in my head and I just started saying some random words. And like, every time I'm digging, I know you got a secret deal. Every time I'm looking, I just had that. No, by the time I'm in a different place, I just started saying these words. Weren't necessarily those words, but that melody, some of those words I was. And then I put that in a song. And it turned out the melody where I was singing was in the key of C sharp. Now, I would never have played the guitar in C sharp and come up with that, you know, but that's where I was comfortably singing it. And now I like that key, you know, it's the equivalent of playing in D but tuned down to E flat. So yeah, lately a lot of my kind of good song ideas, what I've been liking, have been coming without a guitar at all. And if I do come up with a little like Devil's on My Side, I came up with that idea and then I put a song round it, you know, and I kind of built from it. That I heard in my head, I heard that kind of in my head and kind of found it on the guitar. So a lot of it is what's in here. So try it. Let's start singing da 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 da. Oh, I'm in C sharp. Let's think of down 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 down. Give that a go. Hopefully that answers your question. Question 2 is from Jean Peric. I'm considering to buy an amp and I like to buy a new Vox AC15 head. In my city I can't hear how good are they, only in YouTube. What you think about these amps? I like to play everything, mostly rock from Nirvana to Queen and some Eagles and country. Right, kind of get what you mean there, bless you. So basically you want to know what I think of the Vox AC15. Basically, can't say I've played one, but if you want to play, you know, mostly rock, everything from Nirvana to Queen and some Eagles and country, if it's a valve amp, you can't go wrong, really. It's a Vox. Vox make great amps. It's 15 watts, so you can crank it a bit to get the tubes, you know, glowing, get that nice natural overdrive. I haven't, even though there's a microphone in front of this amp, it's not mic'd up to a computer, but that's your kind of, I call that like clean crunch. If I want a bit more, I put in a bit more, you know, but that is a nice valve tone. So yeah, man, go for it. Go for it. As long as it's valve, I'm assuming AC15, yeah, it must be. So it's a head, yeah, go for it, Jean. Go for it, my friend. Taylor Carter asks, there's another amp question. Hey, it's Taylor. I'm a huge Marshall amp fan. I'm thinking of getting a 100-watt Marshall head or a Marshall cabinet. How do I pick the right one for me? Do I need to test some and then pick the right one for me? Or is it the tone? I want to hear, would like your advice on how to choose a 100-watt head and cabinet. Thank you for your question, Taylor. I get a lot of questions like this. Basically, yeah, choose what works for you, you know. So you're saying, how do I pick the right one? I would try a few different Marshall. Go to your local guitar shop, hopefully it's a good one. Say, I want to, get a Marshall, I'm after a good Marshall valve amp. Can't stress, go for a valve, solid state. If you want a good rock and roll tone, you want to get a valve amp. 100 watt is going to be very, very loud. I mean, this is a 50 watt and the volume is on 1. Okay, so it depends. If you're going to be using it live, you're probably not going to get any louder than 4. Okay, I used to play very loud. I used to be on 5 and 6 on my old Marshall DSL 100, but there was no need. There was no, and I was in pubs sometimes as well. But yeah, you probably don't need to get 100 watt, mate. You know, 50 watt would be fine. You still got plenty of headroom there. But yeah, see how much money you want to spend on it. Try a few out. Hopefully more than a few. Try 4, 5, 6 out, sitting there as long as you want. Don't feel pressured to make up your mind by the sales guy. If you still can't make your mind up, there's nothing wrong with just like, I'm going to come back and think about it, you know. Or I'm going to go and then come back later and have a think about it. So don't feel pressured by the sales guy or woman, you know, which is, I know, easier said than done. But yeah, try a few different amps out and whatever speaks to you, get. Sounds a bit hippie-ish, but it's like with guitars, you know, like, you'll know in your heart if you want to get it or not. You know, so hopefully Taylor's asked you a question, mate. Fabio Tixeria. I'm sorry, man. I can't say your surname very well. But he's asked, what is a good microphone for talking, singing? Any suggestions? I will show you my microphone. The mic I use is the SE2000. I got this probably a year ago, maybe, by SE Electronics. It's good for what it is. I can't remember how much it was. I really can't, but I think it was less than £100. I certainly didn't pay 100 quid for it. So I would, budget condenser mic. But it's good for what it is, but I'm not a massive expert when it comes to microphones and stuff like that. It's something I need to get more into, to be honest with you. And it's kind of a New Year's resolution of mine, you know, so to kind of get more into kind of audio and things like that. But yeah, that's what I use, the SE2000 by SE Electronics, and email, and it works very nicely, and you know, it does what I need it to do at the moment. The Crowd Man. Hey Mike, I have a Tele Thinline Deluxe and I've been looking for a great reverb pedal to mess about with. Any recommendations? I listen to a lot of Daughter and Ben Howard, so something that can make some cool moody vibes. I've got the lovely TC Electronics Hall of Fame pedal. I'm really happy with that. I really like it. For that kind of cool, really saturated reverb sound, you can go into the modulation setting and it's just really big and echoey. I haven't got it set up at the moment, but I have done videos with that reverb pedal quite a few times. So if I'm using this amp in here, if I'm using this amp and you hear reverb, that's the Hall of Fame, because the MK50 doesn't have reverb in it. A lot of times with my Supersonic I use the reverb in it, but actually some of the later videos, or the latter videos I should say, with reverb, it has been that pedal as well for Hall of Fame, so that's really great. A lot of people like, is it the Strymus Skyline or something? I never played one, so I can't really comment about that, but I hear very good things about it. But yeah, the Hall of Fame, I recommend getting one of them. Not that expensive. in pedal terms anyway. So the Hoff Hall of Fame pedal. Right, interesting next question from Christopher Marsden. Either about to blow some cash on a new amp or an interface for a PC and DAW, which I plan to use to emulate various amps using something like a bias effects. I just wonder if you have a PC set up for recording, if so, what amps kit you would recommend. Cheers, Chris. Thanks for your question, Chris. As I was just saying, I'm not that savvy with audio and computer stuff with you know, bias effects and you know, recording basically straight into your Mac or PC. I've always mic. I've always preferred that sound, and it's less scarier for me to just put a mic and then put the mic into Logic or GarageBand or something like that, you know. So my interface, I will be upgrading at some point this year. I've just been spending too much on guitars and holidays and clothes. Yeah, so personally for me, I always will prefer the sound of a good amp. That's just me. And also the fact that I haven't experimented enough with yeah, amp simulators, you know. But for me, you know, it depends on the space. You know, if you've got space for an amp in your room or your house or your flat or something, I would say use an amp. You know, use a good amp, and don't get too much of a high wattage. You know, like if you're just recording for home use or in a studio use or something, you know, a 6-watt amp is going to be fine. A good 6-watt amp where you can get some lush clean tones, and you can get some cool AC/DC rock and roll tones, and then kick in a good pedal to take it up a bit more. So yeah, at this moment in my life, I would recommend an amp. But like I say, I do need to experiment more. But hopefully that's kind of answered kind of a question to you, Christopher. But thank you, mate. Right, let's do a couple more questions for you. So Craven Moorhead, he's asked, for me, a guy who has a guitar or two and an amp or two, but no pedals, what are you using, and how do you get the rhythm to play in the background while you play lead? I'm assuming you're talking about when I use a loop pedal. And 1 second. Here is my loop pedal. I use an RC30 by Boss. Great pedal, really happy with it. It's big because I can put a mic in it and do vocals, and I can do like one side, put certain loops down. I can do another side. I think you can do like 99 presets or something like that. It's about £200. I don't know what that be in whatever currency you live in, but yeah, it's great. But also as well, not relying on technology and doing the rhythm yourself. So something like, say if I got so I'm going between two chords there, E and A, and I'm putting the E bass note in, I'm putting the A bass note in, and keeping a rhythm going that way. So it's important to not rely on technology too much. I think we get hung up too much on pedals and things like that. But for a good loop pedal, that's great. And also try and get used to playing other chord changes. Right, I must answer this one by Jonathan Johnston, as you've asked load of stuff to me lately, mate, so I'm going to get to this for you. But you've asked me, what type of amp should I get for a Fender Strat? A lot of amp questions today, isn't it, it turns out. I know it's not the best question, but I need to know when I get my guitar. Again, buddy, like I was saying earlier, I will always stress to get a good valve amp. You know, so you don't have to be breaking the bank. You know, I've got a little Vox AC4 which was £200, lovely little 4 watt, but you can knock it down to 1/4 watt and 1 watt. It's great, you know. I wouldn't gig with it, but for home stuff it's a lovely little amp. It's the classic thing, isn't it? You pay for what you get, you know. So I would always stress, Jonathan, get a valve amp. Right, from the lovely Simon Dixon. Hey Michael Vid, how do you get on with the Mojo? And what pedals are you using? I'm currently in possession of 2 decent valve amps. I want to start recording stereo. Have you tried just going straight out of the Hall of Fame stereo? If so, was there any earth loop issues? How am I getting on the Mojo? Yeah, I like it. I use it to stack. So my Seymour Duncan 805 overdrive, so I'm just checking the time, make sure my next pupil's not turning up. My Seymour Duncan 805 overdrive pedal is lately my current drive sound, you know, so I'm using my supersonic for smaller gigs and leaving it on the clean channel, and then this 805 I'm using as my primarily, you know, gain sound for my rhythm kind of stuff, you know. And if I want to take it up a notch, I'll kick in the spark boost, but that doesn't necessarily give me more gain, it just gives, well, a bit of girth, you know. But if I want more gain for it to sing even more, I'll stack the Mojo on top of that. Now with stacking, and I should do a separate video of this, but with stacking, sometimes the volume you can decrease down, so you've got to find that happy balance where it's not too much gain being pushed and then it's dipping out, you know. So, but like I say, I should do a separate video talking about that. But yeah, I think the Mojo is great. And what other pedals am I using? Kind of just answered it. But yeah, the 805 and the Spark Boost, they're my 3 main pedals. And then the Hall of Fame reverb pedal I was talking about earlier. And I'm getting more and more into delays, but very subtle delay. I've got a Boss DD3 delay, and also I have the Vapor Trail by Seymour Duncan. Lovely, lovely delay pedal. I don't use this enough actually, so I need to start using it more. But this is a really good pedal. Then I've got a Phase 90 and a chorus pedal and a wah, you know. But yeah, my 3 ones are the Boost, 805 and the Mojo. There we go, guys, a few questions answered for you hopefully, and the rest of you all hopefully got something out of that as well. Like I say, send any questions you have to my Facebook page, even though a lot of people still just comment in the video here, which is fine, I'll still get to it, you know, but ideally go to my Facebook page and it's easier for me to see everything. So I hope you're doing really, really well, and I will see you very soon. Remember, every Wednesday and Friday is a new video from me. Take care, Mike Buddy, signing out.